clap.
Hello, race fans. Dresden here, and welcome back after a bit of a hiatus. We have taken some time off, and man, was it needed. But we are back tonight for the fourth installment of the Constructor Cup, the Cheek Clapper Constructor Cup C4. And tonight we are in Hungary. Joining me, as always, in the commentary box is PK. How you doing tonight, bud?
Hey, what's going on, Drez? What's going on, everyone? I'm excited to be back. Yeah, we've had a little bit of just odd things going on and kind of interrupting our stream schedule here. And we might have that happen again here once F123 comes out. But bear with us because these grids are heating up and the competition is coming to a boil. So I'm hoping for some good action tonight.
Yeah, and man, speaking of competition, the Constructor Cup points are extremely tight up at the top. It's like 2 points separate first and second. Something like, I think it's 1 point between third and fourth. I mean, let's take a look at the points real quick and remind everybody where we're at.
Yeah, so we'll dive into, I guess we'll dive into team standings first and take a look at where all the teams sit. So Green Goblins right now sitting at the top with 110 points. They've got one win, a few podiums, some fastest laps. They're really doing a good job at maximizing their points. Right behind them is Speed Demons, just 2 points behind. They've got 2 wins on the Constructors Cup already, and maybe looking to get another one tonight. Z-Milk leading the charge there for the Speed Demons. In third, we have Journey sitting at 91 points, and right behind them, Phantom F1 at 90, a very heated battle between those two. And then Yellow Jackets sitting back there in fifth with 43. I believe Yellow Jackets, Journey has got some new talent this week, a little bit of infusion there. So we'll see if that helps Journey out to maybe claw back up the standings a little bit. So let's take a look at the drivers while we're talking about that. Z-Milk sitting at the top right now of the driver standings for our Cup. He is at 44 points, and Owa just 2 points behind him. Pretty intense battle there for the top step. Leisig just behind those two with 36, tied with Anyote, who also has 36. Anyote putting on a good show and doing well to be competing with Leisig there for points. And then Feeney with 33 rounding out the top 5. Reimer in 6th, Pontiac Bandit 7th, Abdul Rahman in 8th, Angry Walrus in 9th, and Barney in 10th. And I mean, from 8th back to 20th, the very last points paying position, all separated by just 13 points. So it's so tight, Drez.
Yeah, the point spread not very much at all. And man, did Anyote turn out to be a dark horse.
Yeah.
for a points pick there. I think a lot of it coming from a great performance right when he needed the double points for pool 3, and Zandvoort, Anyote delivering when he needed to there for sure. But man, just a very tight point spread all the way across, and I think Owa had to be the value pick. I think that really putting Green Goblins ahead in points, the combination of Leipzig and Owa. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a couple of new names here tonight as well. Well, actually, Rujoff has been on the grid before, but Hayden, I believe, making his debut tonight. So points should be coming. I think we're going to see the points spread out a little bit more even tonight. So should be
Yeah.
quite interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, we've seen Hayden on grid with the elite tier guys, but we haven't seen him fight it out in a constructor cup yet. And man, with Hayden, SP, and Reimer all together on Team Journey, and I'm looking for Journey to have a pretty decent points haul tonight. That is a very strong team, I think.
Yep, yeah, and just so if you're not following, we'll take a look at the calendar just real quick. Tonight we are in Hungary, and it is what is it? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna butcher it, Dres. Top to back format tonight.
Top to back.
So our team captains will
Top
be
to back.
sitting out for qualifying, and then they will be starting at the back of the pack. So a little bit different. It's still going to be a one-shot qualifying, I'm pretty sure, or short quali and 50% race. So just adding that little bit of jeopardy to qualifying tonight.
I'm gonna let you switch over to do the track intro, but I really like top to back here at Hungary. It feels like another smart choice of race like design and venue put together. The guys they're starting in the back. They got the best pace, but Hungary a tough place to pass. Not impossible, but they're gonna have to fight their way up to the front. Race starting in 4. Why don't we head on into
Yep.
to
Here we go.
qualifying?
So we will be heading into Hungary tonight, folks, just outside Budapest here at the Hungaroring. It's Monaco, but without the walls. It's 2.7 miles around this Hungaroring track. It's 14 corners, and it is bolt down all the downforce you can. You're going to see very big wings, Monaco-esque, as you need all the downforce you can around here. 65% of the lap at full throttle. Multiple lines through turns 1 here. You'll see that carry through as we go through turns 2 and 3, an inside line and an outside line. The outside man gets the inside of turn 3 as they go through that part of the track. Very tricky through turn 4, but passes can be made here. It's just a kink before you get down into the loop of turn 5. A very fast-flowing section, rhythmic in nature. We'll see the middle range of Pirelli's tire compounds tonight, the C4 soft, the C3 medium, and C2 hard. Some very interesting tire strategies tonight, I'm sure we will see. And would not be surprised to see some folks starting out on the hard, as that is going to be a very racy tire.
Yeah, and man, Hungary just fun to drive, in my opinion. Very fun to drive track. The turn 4, that left-hander coming uphill that's blind, is very like a very tough turn to nail correctly every time. And then after the quick 6-7 chicane, you've got this flowing section where each turn really leads into the next. It's not quite like an S complex, but man, if you mess up 8, you're gonna feel it still around 11, and then the passing only happening really into turn 1 or maybe possibly into turn 2.
Yep, very. It's a very. That sector of track, sector 2, is going to be where you lose or gain all of your track time here in Budapest.
Yeah, for sure. So once again, team captains, that would be Z-Milk, Reimer, Leipzig, Barney, and I'm missing one. Who am I
Owa,
missing?
or no, not Owa. Curveball. You got Curveball already?
Yeah,
Curveball,
Curveball,
Leipzig,
that's right.
Reimer, yeah, and Z-Milk.
Yes, so all 5 of those guys. Oh, Kemphead having a little struggle through 4 already. I think it was him. Yeah, he's back on track now. But 5 of our 15 will not participate in qualifying. They will have to work their way back to the front, and it's completely random. Apparently, which team captain gets put all the way in the back. So
Oh no, I've got
just a lot of
the
work to
I've
find.
got the scoop on that. So Lysig's going to retire first. Z Milk will be retiring after Lysig, then Reimer, and then
Um,
Curveball. So that's the order
you
in
know,
which, yeah.
I was just hoping that they would do like a little reverse, just a tiny little reverse order
Yep.
right at the end. Yeah, so Lysig leading in points, Z-Milk behind him, so they'll start at the end. Is that right? Oh man, Hemphead's just rear end not nailed down once again around the final corner, trying to start his first lap. Having a little struggle there. Let's find somebody to watch here.
So we've got already quite a few folks in the chat. Drez, want to give some credit where it's due tonight. We've got Coma Copa in there. Thanks, Coma Copa, for stopping by. Untrained Pro, thanks for coming tonight. Once again, we got Sheisty's mom. She's turning out to be one of our more loyal viewers. So appreciate all of you.
That may not be Sheisty's actually mom, but he or she is a race fan. So enjoy the racing if you want. I hope you do. But oh man, I miss my. I'm watching Shiesty come around the final turn. It's about to put time on the board right now. And Coma, like I've got a problem with Coma. He's passed me in the grid rivals this week, and I'm upset about it.
You know what I did again? I forgot to set my lineup.
Yeah, you gotta stop doing that.
I know. I'm just giving you guys a head start is all, so I can come back at the end.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be tough now.
I know.
There's good like Pontiac, Coma. They have put in some good lineups, and man, I want to talk about Monaco, but I don't want to get into it just yet. We'll save it for like a slow point in the race. Ah, man. So Rujoff's on the board, 17-2, very quick. Rujoff's going to be very fast, and he's on. So Rujoff is filling in on the Speed Demons tonight. So not that Z-Milk needs much. Z-Milk and Feeney. So the couple of really strong teams. Rujoff, Feeney, Z-Milk seems very, very strong. And then so does SP, Hayden, and Reimer. Both of those teams. They only have 3 on the grid tonight, but they're looking very, very, very strong.
Yep, and as we're talking about Angry Walrus going into the 116s, topping the timing charts here. And if you were watching last night or you caught a chance to watch the practice we did last night, you'll know that Rujoff was down in the low 116s. So would not be surprised to see some more guys maybe get on top of Angry Walrus's time.
Yeah, so we'll expect a few more times. We still need times from both Feeney, who is a race winner here in the Constructor Cup, and Owa as well, who is a points leader here in the Constructor Cup. So 2 very fast guys still need to set times. So Hemphead does end up putting a time of 20 flat. And man, I think Hayden's still warming up there. Is he on a hot lap?
Feeney is
coming out of the pits.
Feeney's getting ready to start his hot lap here.
Okay. Yeah, when I first started driving, Hungary my least favorite track.
Yes, agreed.
But over time, it just sort of grows on you.
Yeah, I think as you become more comfortable with the car and you start to understand the more technical side of Formula One and just racing in general, you start to love it, actually, because it kind of refines your craft better than any other track that doesn't have walls.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a Canada. You can make some mistakes, but it just for whatever reason, especially the section that Feeney's driving through right now, it's just a lot of fun to drive. And Feeney's setting purple sections. It looks like he's setting himself up for a pretty decent lap. Bit wide on the entry into the second to final turn. Maybe a touch hesitant, but does come across to the 17.4, and that's good enough for third place. So Rujoff and Feeney, both speed demons, representing themselves well. They've got second and third on the board. And man, and Phantom F1 is sitting in provisional pole with Walrus, having 4/10 over the rest of the field. It's looking like. I want to catch Hayden's lap. Looks like he's starting it right now.
Setting a purple sector in sector 2 as he's getting ready to come across the line here.
So Owa to the line. Actually, I'm looking for the green dot. It's coming around the final turn. Owa to the line. Manages fifth, 18 flat. I'm watching Hayden's lap right now. Oh, very, very deep into the chicane. He'll lose a couple of tenths there on that entry, I think.
Taking a lot of curb through turn 7 there.
That was a very aggressive line, but man, there and now eliminated. So Hayden having a little trouble just getting his race underway here. I think just because like we were saying, you mess up one of these and you feel it, right? And I think maybe just the entry a little too aggressive, and maybe that's what pushed him offline later on.
Yeah.
Follow now.
Well, we're on board with Shiesty right now. Seeing if he can improve on his 117.9 currently on the board.
So a touch of spread, but it's not. Oh, there's Rujoff. Rujoff grabbing pole for the Speed Demons by 1/10 over Walrus. Is Walrus going to answer? Oh, now I'm getting excited.
He's on an outlap right now as Walrus.
Okay. Yeah.
And there goes, who was that? Shiesty, I believe, just overtaking Walrus on his way. Now, if Walrus really wanted to improve his time, I would expect to see him kind of stick to the back of Shiesty and get that toe all the way down into turn 1.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad. He was right there, ready for it. He starts his hot lap now. He's got to find a 10th to get pole back. 7 minutes and 30 seconds remain. That Monaco qualifying this week, that was unreal.
Yeah.
And so much fun to watch.
One of the better qualifyings I've seen, the best qualifying of the year so far. But one of the best Monaco qualifyings I've seen in a long time.
So Walrus looking very good. I missed his sector one time.
He was down
very nicely done.
Down almost 2 100ths.
Okay. You'll need to find a little more, but it looks hooked up in sector 2. Very hooked up in sector 2. Down a 10th. That's enough to take pole back. I'm ready for a battle.
I think we're going to get one, both at the front of the field and the back of the field tonight.
Yeah, good. I liked the Monaco race, but not really. There goes Walrus. So a nice job there. Takes pole back. A little bit of a battle going on between Walrus and Rujoff for pole position.
Yeah, and then it's almost a second back to third.
Yeah, it's a pretty big jump. You would think we'd find some people that are going to be able to slot in. Though Rujoff and Walrus over one lap, I think, have tier S pace.
Yep, and
Right.
we're gonna see some track evolution here. So not quite like what we saw at qualifying this weekend at Monaco. I don't
Yeah.
think the last man's going to get that big of a jump, but we will see a little bit of
Yeah.
it as we close out this session.
Oh, it was huge. It was such a shootout, right?
Yeah.
Like all 20 drivers at the OK Corral, and it was just whoever fired the last bullet. It was so crazy. A lot of fun to watch that. Okay, let's find who should we be watching now. Feeney's coming around the turn one for a hot lap. Looks like a lot of people in the
Oh,
pits.
Hayden down
SP's
3.5
time.
seconds right now.
Okay, well he needs them. 3.6. You're absolutely right. That's gonna put him definitely. Is it? No, I see. Still needs a little more. Maybe he found a little more in the last sector as well, because the time across the board looks good. A 17.1 for Hayden, so much more about where we expect him to be in there, in around Rujov, Walrus, and Feeney. SP seems a little out of place to me
Yeah.
at qualifying. There goes Owa though with a big improvement at 17.2 for him. Let's see here. Who's across the line next? Looks like Feeney's going to come around.
And then
These
SP
last two.
behind him looks like. So maybe both of them looking to
Okay.
improve.
Well, to the line, Feeney by half a second and into third. A big improvement. Now SP to the line. Goes seventh place. Does improve. Up to a 17.5. He's in line with Shiesty and Bongit for pace there. So now we're looking for a step forward from Pontiac, I think, and then we'll be settled into qualifying times that seem to make sense.
Yep, and Pontiac getting ready to start his hot lap here as he comes around 14.
Want to do a lap ride?
Yeah, let's do a lap ride.
Well, it's time for a lap ride with trackside.
So we'll jump on board with Pontiac Bandit as he charges down into turn one, clipping that apex. It's almost a V shape as you come into turn one and exit with DRS all the way down to turn two, and then slinking your way through three. And you want to just take a little bit of curb, but Pontiac ignoring that, just wanting to keep it clean. We've got the quick kink blind turn of turn four there, and then a heavy brake into turn five, using up all of your exit curb there. And then we've got this S slowing down the slowest part of the track, and then we move into the rhythmic section of 6, 7, 8, all the way down to 9 and 10. Before you can really get a break on the steering wheel as you race down from 11 to 12. Another heavy braking zone, a 90 degree to your right, and then a 90 to your left as you take this slowly opening turn of turn 13, and then immediately switch back to 14, and you're slowly getting on the throttle before you just punch it. DRS opens, and then it's a brief run down to the start finish line.
Big improvement there for Pontiac. A big step forward into 17.4. And man, those last two U-turns, I struggled to get the maximum amount of pace out of those two.
They're difficult, yeah,
Right.
because especially, I mean, on low fuel and soft tires, they're they're easier, right? But especially
Yes.
in race mode, you're on maybe not as soft as a compound. The car's full of fuel. And then as that rubber gets away from you, it's so easy to just get on that throttle just a tad bit too early and get the car turned around.
Yeah, I bet you that's where people tear their tires up the most as well.
Yes.
So 48 seconds remain. We've got a hot laps commencing for everyone, it seems like. Will Feeney get around? Yeah, I think so. So Walrus is heading into turn 1. Rujov heading into turn 4 at the moment. Let's see if we can figure out who's going to be across the line first. Feeney really lined up to start his hot lap right at the optimum time here. So I'm on board with Rujov. Let's see if he can answer back. He is coming through to turn 10 at the moment. Down a tenth, down enough to pull back. Walrus will have to answer as long as things go well for Rujov in the final couple of turns here. Rujov coming into the final turn now. Very much upshifting early, getting the power down, and that's enough for pole position.
Almost by a full tenth.
Yeah, so I'm back with Walrus. Oh, Walrus's lap has been eliminated, so we're dropping back to Feeney now if he can answer. Feeney will need to find 3/10, but is currently slower than his old time, and there's a very wide exit. Round 8, so Feeney's lap probably scrubbed. I'm on board with what's going on now?
Feeney dropped it in just coming out of turn 11 there.
Yeah, he was really pushing hard. Owa's into the pits, so that's it. That's qualifying. Rujov manages to find the lap he needed right there at the end, and it was a little back and forth action between Rujov and Walrus. And Hayden took another step forward as well, so Hayden found a sub 16.7 time. We got 3 into the 16s.
Yeah, well,
Feeney,
4.
Hayden, Walrus. 4, I'm sorry, 4, you're right. Feeney, Hayden, Walrus, Rujov, all into the 16s. Very respectable times there.
Yeah, it got quite a bit closer as the session went on. So.
Yeah. And we have to assume Z-Milk, Reimer, Lysick, Curveball, Barney all have pace they need to be able to come through the field here. So gonna be an exciting race, and we're gonna see a lot of extended battles, I think, as Hungary just difficult to get the passes done.
Yeah, even if you've got more pace on the guy in front of you, it's still I can't remember exactly, but I think you got to have at least 2.5 seconds of pace on the guy in front of you to get around here at Hungary. So it's going to be a tall order because even some of these guys in back, Himpad, Bong at SP, these guys have the racecraft and can defend. So
yeah, and we're looking for a race win from somebody in the top 5 right now. Rujov, Walrus, Hayden, Feeney, Owa. You think one of them is going to have the right collection of things happening, because the boost they're about to get from field spread, assuming nothing crazy like Lysick in 3rd place around turn 1. You know what I mean? assuming there's nothing crazy like that, there's going to be a ton of field spread, and enough to give guys like Rujov, Hayden, Feeney, I think is going to give them the lead they need to hold on to a win, even against the Z-Milks, Lysicks, Barneys of the field. So I would expect one of those guys, one of those top 5, coming out of qualifying, to take the victory here tonight. I want to see it.
Should be interesting. We're set for a duel. Can these guys? And I'm wondering too if we're going to see some odd strategies from those guys in the back too. Are they going to bolt on a harder compound and just hope for a safety car? Maybe Who knows?
It's abbreviated grid with strong, consistent drivers. Like I would not go for a safety car hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a long
Like
shot at best.
yeah, and there's lots of runoff here in. I mean, well, at turn four can get nasty because because like turn three or turn two and turn three is actually it's a place where you can make mistakes, and then because of that, people end up kind of gambling a side by side through turn four, and that's when
Yeah.
you're holding your breath the whole time,
You see, yeah, because of the DRS leading into one and then two, you'll get people
Yeah.
alongside through two and three. And then, a mistake from someone on the inside or outside through two and three. And the next thing you know, you're side by side in four with a half hearted pass. And it leads to it leads to some hairy moments going into five for sure.
Yeah, but you get so you like this is. I mean, I like watching professional racing. I do, but I think I enjoy grids like this a little more because the, people aren't perfect here, and so you can. But they work really hard at it, right? They've got years of practice, but they're not, you know, perfect every freaking time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you end up with the tracks when you combine slightly less than perfect, then all the tracks have a different different areas in them where you can get these interesting moments that you don't normally see when you're only watching people who never make
Yeah.
mistakes. You know?
And it's not that we're
So
rooting for mistakes.
yeah.
It's just, it's more like, I mean, I do root for mistakes. I'm not going to lie. I sat at home this weekend and I was just rooting for Max just to bin it all race long. But, it just in
The
this,
man's a motherfucker. Sorry.
yeah, he is.
He's a machine. He's a machine. It's crazy.
And we got done with that race and I looked at my wife and I said, that son of a bitch is too fast. But
He's too fast.
he is way too fast. Anyway, it's just there's more drama to be had in these races, because there's less jeopardy, right? If you've been at here tonight, you're done for the night. It's not like you're risking your life or anything. So we see more risk and in this format, which makes it a little bit more fun to watch. I agree.
Yeah, it's not fun to watch total newbies who I just bought this crazy game where the cars are shaped funny. I'm gonna check it out, right? I don't want to watch those guys.
Yeah.
I like watching guys that have been playing this for years and take it very seriously, and because they're just slightly less than perfect, certain parts of certain tracks express that. And so you get places like turn four here. It is just a place where a lot more action tends to happen in a good race than you get when you're watching the complete professionals, right? The turn four is it's just not a place where people make mistakes. So, but we'll get some of that tonight, I hope. And man, Z Milk. So Z Milk is ahead of everybody. Oh, it is kind of random. It looks like.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that went the way they intended, but
Yeah. Well, Z Milk has the advantage among the captains. If followed by Reimer, then Leisig from Curveball, and Barney at the end will have the most work to do.
yeah, Barney's definitely got his work cut out for him tonight.
Is going to have tons to do. So let's take just a quick look. We've got, we'll take a look at Rujoff for the Speed Demons. The purple and black. Then Phantom right behind him. Walrus. Very similar but less purpley. Then it's Hayden. It's Hayden for Team Journey. They've got the red and white livery, the brightest car on track. tonight. We'll take a look at Owa for the Green Goblins. That's very difficult to mistake. You'd be able to tell, as well as the Yellow Jackets for Pontiac Bandit. The Yellow Jackets and the Green Goblins, like just a nice coordination between car color. They're easy
Yeah.
to tell who you're watching. Well, let's get on board for Feeney. It is the fourth edition of the Constructor Cup tonight. A lot on the line. Teams very, very close. 110 to 108. That's the battle for first place. 90 to 91. That's the battle for third. Here we go. It's 1, 2, 3. Here we go. It's lights are out, but nobody's moving. And a couple of jump start penalties to start that. What a weird beginning to this race. And man, Feeney having contact with somebody who didn't get off the line very well. Rujoff is in the lead. He's followed by Hayden. Shiesty has moved up a number of places into third place. Z-Milk is already in fourth. No, battling with Feeney for fifth. You would think they'll just let Z-Milk through. He does. So Z-Milk, an amazing start, as it does Leisig. They're battling each other through turn 4 side by side, and it's Z-Milk with the better exit in the inside line, though Leisig does try to hang it out around turn 5, but to no avail. Z-Milk grabs the place there. A crazy start here in Hungary.
Yeah, very interesting, and just saw one of Team Journey coming across the curb there at 6, taking the long way through that chicane.
Very tough. So, man, the captains have had really something happened at the start. We had a weird go. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, the lights were out for a good 2 seconds. 2 penalties, Pontiac and Bongit. I imagine those are drive-throughs.
Gotta be, yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, for false starts, though, to no fault of their own, you would think, because the lights were weird. Rough. Rujoff leads. He started on pole. He's still in first place. Hayden is in second place. He's moved up 1. Shiesty had a good start. He's up 3 from 6th place. Feeney's still where he started. And then it's the captain, Z-Milk, Leisig, Curveball, Barney, all up 6, 7 places respectively. Really, really good starts, of course, from the captains.
Yep, and Ola really taking the brunt of punishment from that start, down 10 positions. That's not good for the Green Goblins.
Yeah, having the roughest start of all, I think. And did we serve those penalties? I think we must have.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's almost a rainbow down at the bottom. The team that's having the strongest overall start here in Hungary, it's got to be Speed Demons, Rujoff, Feeney, Z-Milk, 3 of the top 5. Going to second place overall, Speed Demons at the moment.
So we didn't take a look before the race, but currently Rujoff on the medium tire, right behind him Hayden on the soft tire. Then mediums for Shiesty and Feeney, and Z-Milk taking that alternate strategy to start on the hards.
And Hayden's electing to go with softs here. Let's go action 2 because it's soft versus medium up here at the front. Hayden versus Rogers. I'm sorry, Rujoff for Hayden versus Rogers. Hayden versus Rujoff. Soft versus medium for first place at the moment.
Yeah, to make that strategy work, Hayden really needs to get around Rujoff and put some time between himself and those medium tire runners.
Yeah, he definitely does. But I think, honestly, I think Rujoff and where is Walrus? Down in 8th place, a rough start for somebody who was battling for pole. But Rujoff, to me, felt like Rujoff and Walrus's 1 lap pace at least, a little bit stronger than what Hayden was bringing this evening. And it does appear like Rudolph is kind of bouncing around. Like, I don't think Hayden's really putting much pressure on him, even though he does have the softer tire.
Oh, 1 second, Drez. We got a three-way battle here for fourth as Leisig, Feeney, and Z-Milk coming around three wide through turn one.
Yeah, Z-Milk Lysik still alongside each other as we go through two and now into three, but Z-Milk had the inside line and able to hold on. So looks like Lysik here on the medium tire is going to be, but wide around four and now has got work to do to catch back up. Curveball, Feeney, Walrus all behind Lysig. They're bunching up behind Z-Milk, who's on the hardest compound of everybody here.
Yeah, Z-Milk, he was able to find his way through some of those medium tire runners. So, not sure if it's his pace backing everyone up. We'll see if he's able to pull away.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he can leave Leisig in the dust with Leisig on softer tires. That'd be pretty shocking. But man, but look at the DRS chain behind fourth place. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5, 6. Actually, let's go action 8. There we go on the inside line of Feeney down into turn one. It's Walrus gonna have the better position here through turn one, and does have the spot. Feeney's gonna have to watch out because now Barney on the outside line battling down in the second place. It's two phantom drivers driving past one speed demon, and both of them able to get through. No, side by side again. Feeney now the battle into fourth. Very aggressive line as Feeney hooks his way through there. A nice move to get the place back from Barney. Oh, that was sweet.
I was curious if we'd see any overtakes through turn four. It's nice to see that these guys are... Oh, what do we got? A safety car? No.
Just yellow flag. Oh, turned a spun around journeyman. I'm not sure who it is. Let's find out. Reimer's still moving. SP getting his car back underneath him, struggling.
Ooh.
In Hungary is SP.
Yeah, he's missing a front wing as well, so he's now a lap down, and he'll be coming in for another stop.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Unfortunate. Man, that Feeney move into four, the turn in was aggressive. but man, did Barney moved his car out of the way. They're still fighting. Feeney, Barney. Barney's got a wheel in around turn two, and at the better line, they're still fighting through three side by side. No, Feeney still ahead. Barney struggling to find a way through as Feeney has got his elbows out to hold on to 8th place. Man, the Feeney-Barney battle here, this is fun.
Yeah, I've been looking around. There's a tight battle between Leisig and Curveball. Those guys up there fighting for 5th, but this is definitely where the action is at right now for some of the last points-paying positions.
Yeah, we missed something important there because Curveball now ahead of Leisig in 5th place. So Leisig has lost the place to Curveball who is on the harder compound.
Yeah, I think these hard tires are the race tire to be on. Very little deg, and they're going to hold their pace almost, I would think, identical to the mediums for longer.
So up front, Rujov's pace in qualifying is showing itself out. He's 2 seconds ahead of Hayden, who's on the softs. Softs may be approaching the end of their lifespan here.
I would think so.
But the point is, though, Hayden on the harder compound is putting space between himself and Hayden at the moment. How about we go action 3? Let's take a look at Shiesty on the back of Hayden.
Yeah, he's troubling Hayden right now all over the back of that Journey car. The medium's starting to get into that window where they're faster than that soft compound.
We've got it. There are a lot of fights we've got to watch. Lysic's very, very close under curveball. I want to stick here with Shiesty just into turn one, see if Shiesty can line this up. I don't think he's got the exit he needs.
Yeah, he's got DRS. He's using battery. I think he's going to go for a send, Rez.
Oh, let's follow a little twitchy move from Hayden to defend, but Shiesty going to get a second chance here into turn two. But will follow, it does appear. Lysic now into turn two, now on the outside line of curveball. Curveball still holding, keeps the speed up. It's gonna have very close. Very close through three. Lysic does fall back.
Walrus taking a scenic route there right through the Formula One signage.
Oh, I missed that. Is he still? Oh, Barney and Feeney are still fighting, but now Barney is ahead as well. So we missed another pass there. A lot, man. You got to keep your head on a swivel here. A lot of passes happening.
All the way to the back of the field.
Yeah, Pontiac is on the back of Owa at the moment. Does look like Barney is starting to consolidate over Feeney.
Shiesty ever closer to Hayden on this trip around 14 and could get the pass done here.
It looks much closer, and Hayden is harvesting now, taking the inside line to defend. A very nicely defensive driving there. He takes the inside line, but doesn't give up more than he has to. Ooh, Shiesty, a little bit of contact there as he tries to steal the inside line. Does not get a wheel in. Hayden still very well defensively driven. But this fight, slowing both of them down, Rujov up ahead laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, this is something he's enjoying seeing in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, for sure. Two tough rivals battling each other, giving him space he needs to breathe.
And look at this, Z-Milk now starting to inch up closer to the back of Shiesty's Green Goblin.
Man, I wanted the captains to suffer a little bit tonight. Like, is that a terrible thing to say? But I didn't want to see them all the way in second place. Oh, we got to watch Shiesty on Hayden now. Stuck a wheel in, but didn't have the entry he needed. There goes. Hayden's had enough of these soft tires. Hayden into the pits. Lap 10.
And now Z-Milk's got DRS on Shiesty.
Oh, and he's looking like he's going to have the pass. Oh, man, this is going to be fairly straightforward. A nice DRS pass into turn one. Z-Milk keeps the speed up and now looks to consolidate. Hayden exits in 11th place. That's a lot. And on to the mediums. Mediums going to the end here.
Ooh, I'd be surprised. 25 laps?
25 laps is going to be a lot to put on a medium tire there. So, state of the race, it's a 1-2 for the Speed Demons. Rujov and Z-Milk both equally difficult to beat. I think here in Hungary, and it's a 4.4 second gap, Z-Milk to Rujov. I think that could be an interesting fight, even though they're on the same team. Can Z-Milk close the pace down to Rujov? That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, are there team orders?
Oh, as I say that, around turn 12, Z-Milk losing a bit, and Shiesty is through. But Z-Milk going to grab the place back down into turn one with DRS assist. He just got a little sideways coming around turn 12, and Shiesty immediately jumped on him. But man, that just give Z-Milk DRS right back. Shiesty still battling,
Yeah, he's not going to give up. He's the highest Green Goblin right now in running order, and looking to represent for that team.
And so we've got a great fight here, right? It's Speed Demons, Z-Milk, Rujov. They're second place with 108 points. And Shiesty, Leisig, they're first place Green Goblins with 110 points. But Speed Demons taking the most points right now out of Hungary. It's a neat little team battle going on. I'm interested to see if Z-Milk can catch Rujov. The fight between Curveball and Leisig has been going on for a while. Let's go there. Action 5. And now Walrus, who nearly qualified on pole, but had a rough start of it. Now on the back of on this fight as well.
Oh, so we've got a comment in the chat, Drez, asking how are the teams determined?
Yeah, there was a whole draft episode. We put on a 3 hours?
It was like 3.5 hours. Yeah.
So if you go back on the channel somewhere, there is a 3.5 hour draft event where team captains battled each other just for the right to pick, and all of the drivers were tier ranked based on their past performances, and they got to pick. They got to take turns picking from each tier, and then that ultimately decided the teams. So
yeah, it was like what, 4 races just for the captains to make their choices, and then we had a full draft show after that.
It was great. Look, I thought it was great content. 3 hours, and we had car unveiling. We had everything. Man, the Constructors Cup. I really enjoy this event. So and it's turned out to be pretty fair for the teams. I think only one team, Journey, just had a couple of runs of bad luck, and I think that's the only thing keeping them out of the points, or at least out of the contention. But the battle for first and the battle for third you don't get much tighter than 2 and 1 point separations there. So fun stuff to watch. Leisig continues to follow Curveball, and the rivalry between Curveball and Leisig has been good, like the past couple of months, don't you think?
Yeah, and it's been growing as well.
Yeah, we always see these two on track battling it out lately, and with Walrus just behind this little 3-car stretch here. And it's catching Shiesty, I believe. Curveball 1.4 behind Shiesty. So this could be a 4-way battle with big implications for the Green Goblins coming up.
Yeah, and if they're able to catch Shiesty is just outside DRS range to Z-Milk, so we could see everyone start to bottle up here shortly.
So here on lap 14, Rujov has a 4.9 second lead, but that time has been tumbling a little bit. Z-Milk had a little squirrely whatever, and he lost a second, but he's been making that time up, and he's on the harder compound is Z-Milk. But like you say, the hard's very, very good around here, so maybe a little bit more comparable than we think. But man, can Z-Milk pull out the win? And what kind of team orders would you expect?
Yeah, I asked that question earlier. I don't know. Who's the captain of that team?
Well, Z-Milk's the captain. You got to think, does the captain just get to make team orders? You would think he does, right? The team order is move over, I get to win.
Yeah.
But man, if they both keep clean noses, I mean, honestly, if they both keep clean noses and Z-Milk does catch up slowly over time, you got to think it's just no questions asked, definitely invert. So Lysick really, oh, into the pits now. So medium runners beginning to pit here on lap 15. Lysick. So with 13 laps, is he pit already? No, there it is, 14. Okay. So, yeah, first medium runner into the pits now. So we got to expect Rujov, Shiesty, Walrus, Barney, Feeney probably going to be jumping into the pits soon as well.
Yep. So 15 laps looks like the extent of what the medium wants to do. So that kind of tells me Hayden will be back in again for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, Lysick definitely trying to undercut curveball, but on his outlap here, Reimer has managed to squeeze in front of him. So Lysig's outlap may be compromised. This is pretty good news for curveball, I think.
Yeah, and curveball under attack right now from Walrus. Walrus only half a second behind curveball now.
The Walrus looking pretty decent here. And I'm not sure what happened to him on the start, but man, did he put in a good qualifying performance?
And there he
Now
goes.
he's into the pits. Yeah, his medium's ready to come off, it looks like.
So we'll see. We'll get a pretty good idea of what the undercut or overcut looks like here with Leisig having pit just a lap before where Walrus comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, so man, mediums go to the end here. Should curveball, I mean, mediums would stretch to the end here, right? They've gone, is that right?
Oh, we got a three-way battle now going into turn one as Walrus comes out of the pits, and it's carnage. Walrus taking a major hit, losing the front wing, Drez.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he came in contact with, but man, the front of that car totally mangled at the moment, and there was definite contact. As there was wheel banging before that car found the railing.
Well, and Leisig's picked up a penalty. I'm not sure what it's for. I'm wondering if it was for contact there.
Man, so let's take a look at that. Penalty, and it's the 3 seconds. It's not the 5-second collision variety.
Okay.
So Leisig most likely penalized for track limitations.
Well, we'll see if we can get a replay from Walrus. If maybe not, he's still in the race, so we probably won't. But you never know. Some of these guys are real good. I've gotten a few replays from Hayden mid-drive. I'm like, how is he even doing this?
It's impressive stuff. And Z-Milk definitely catching Rujov. It's 3.6 seconds, the time between them now.
Leisig and Reimer through turn 3, just neither one of them giving an inch.
Yeah, as you would expect. I think Reimer lows the fights. I thought, man, I can actually, hard for me to imagine anybody who races this much doesn't love the fight. There goes. Reimer does find his way through though, and Reimer now got to watch out for Bongit behind. There goes Rujov. Race leader is into the pits now as well. He'll be throwing the hards on. Okay.
So you got to think with the pace we've seen on those hards, Z-Milk's going to have to do some crazy laps on that medium tire once he finally pits.
Yeah, with the hard, yeah, so you would think maybe we could, let's look at it like this. I'm looking for, yeah, fastest lap times from Rujov is a 120.5 and Z-Milk's fastest lap is a 120.7.
So not much difference there between
Yeah.
those two compounds.
Yeah. So yeah, Rujov is definitely going to have. He's going to have less uh, gas in the car for the second half of his lap.
Yep.
Hayden's got the fastest lap by almost a half a second. It's quite a large margin.
I remember he was on the
For
softs there to start.
That's right.
And Walrus has just fitted the softs, so we'll see if he's able to put in a reflective time. And going back to that tires chat, only 2/10 between those tire compounds, and thinking you're going to be on that harder tire for 3/4 of the length, or 75% more length probably than you are on the medium. So you're doing that many more laps on a comparable tire versus the degrading nature of that medium tire. So I think that hard tire is going to prove to be very strategic come the end of this race.
Yeah. Do you have pit times handy?
Time in the pits?
I remember that myself. Yeah, it's got to be more than 15 seconds.
Oh,
So Rujov's he's definitely still within Z-Milk's pit window. But what are we looking for? We're looking for, can Z-Milk, Z-Milk is into the pits. This is exactly what I was about to call for. I would like to see Z-Milk pit aggressively, switch to the softer compounds right when there's still, time to get out there and get racy.
It's a 20-second pit lane loss here at Hungary.
20 seconds. So fairly quick pit stops. So Z-Milk will rejoin, and he's going to be just behind Hayden. So Hayden, I think, I don't want to call it for sure, but I feel like two stopping is something Hayden enjoys doing. That's what it seems like. Is I feel like I've seen him do that more than once. So an outside strategy.
Yeah, and typically what we've seen from Hayden, because I believe it's Wolfsburg is the one who does his engineering on Elite Tier nights. We've seen him do crazy long tire strategies. So like ending the race on an 80% worn tire, so really kind of stretching the compound. So I feel like it's maybe a little out of character for him tonight to do a multi-stop race.
Yeah, he's definitely, you got to think, we've got a full safety car all of a sudden. And SP Yabor, or still
Yabor.
SP has found some trouble. We missed. Looks like a white dot off track in turn 2. Quickly, Hayden definitely into the pits. Rujov, Z-Milk, they won't pit. You wouldn't think. Leisig, man, has anybody had a pit stop left? Reimer. Oh no, it's got some issues coming into the pit lane. Reimer did. I don't know if you caught that on your end.
Oh, we didn't.
Okay, I'm seeing a Journey car. Yeah, he pulled a wing off there on the pit entry.
Ooh.
Reimer getting it, but so some of that benefit for getting to pit
erased.
Stuff done. Yeah, a little bit there. I don't think he wanted that. Who else benefits a lot? Feeney serving 5-second penalty here and putting softs on.
Ooh, that's an interesting call. I'm not sure. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I mean it's aggressive. If he's just trying to score some points, but man, we saw Hayden struggle on the softs.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
He only got what 10 laps maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, he did 10 laps on them,
yeah.
But I think he wanted to come off them earlier than that. But to be honest.
Yeah, we saw him really struggling for pace those last 2 laps he was on them. So really, and lower fuel, you probably solid for 10 laps on the soft.
Yeah.
So you can maybe stretch it.
So, I think you can. Yeah, okay, you probably could.
Yeah.
Probably could. But he's got to find some points, does Feeney. He needs to find his way past Owa and Reimer if he's going to bring home some extra points for the Speed Demons. So let's look at the state of the race. Rujoff and Z-Milk, you think they just invert immediately. Z-Milk's shown that he's got faster race pace and he's on the faster tire. And then Rujoff should just be playing rear gunner. He's probably got the speed and the consistency he needs to hold Leipzig off.
Well, could Z-Milk and Rujoff just invert now? Or would there be a penalty?
Yeah, I think because the computer probably doesn't know the teams.
Yeah.
They're probably, and I mean, they see the same liveries, but I doubt they take that into account. Can you invert if you are on the? I don't know what the rules are there.
So technically, if so in real F1 regulations, if Rujoff was to drive off the track, Z-Milk could overtake at that point, and Rujoff would have to give up that position. So they could probably very strategically do that in real life if they wanted to. Probably be very frowned upon by the fans and many others, but
yeah, for sure. We like when the races seem fair, Schumacher.
Yeah.
What do we think? Like it was. I can't remember which race it was.
It was Indy,
but,
where he slowed down. It was what?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
Who slowed down? Not Fernando. Oh gosh. Yeah, his teammate slowed down at the line.
Schumacher forever.
Yeah, the guy who's got a petition against Lewis right now.
Oh really?
Right.
Okay, hang on. We'll hold that thought because we're going to restart. Rujoff takes us away, and man, is Leipzig crowding around. It looks like they were trying to get the invert done here into turn 1, but very dangerous because Leipzig is right there. He knows what they're up to, and he wants to take advantage immediately. Then he does, through into second place, and now troubling Z-Milk around the outside of turn 2. Can Z-Milk hold on to the place? He does. Pushes Leipzig away through turn 3. Now stepping out and alongside into 4. No, so we'll fall back in the line. A little wide on the exit to 4, but cannot be punished. Rujoff will follow through 5. I know what they were trying to do, but man.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. Leipzig was just... Leipzig's like, okay, if you're going to invert now, I'm going to cause trouble. And man, did he throw a wrench right in the middle of those plans.
Oh, Hayden getting a pass done on Shiesty through turn 11 there. Beautifully done.
Man, turn 11. Yeah. That's a tough place to get it done. But Hayden, I really like his driving style. Like the way he gets defensive. That's a driver who can defend, and I'm enjoying that. And an unconventional pass through 11 and into 5th place. Curveball and Rujoff are fighting now as Curveball finds a way through. Rujoff just struggling with cold, hard tires, just unable to really get that Speed Demon car back underneath him. Loses out now 3 places in 1 lap.
Yeah, those Speed Demons have lost probably 10 to 15 points in the matter of a couple laps with that maneuver on the restart.
Yeah, it's rough because they had a lock, a 1-2 lock. What's the best way? I think, man, maybe they should have just coordinated a start and let a little of the field spread happen so that they could invert without risking being punished quite so much. I'm watching now, curveball getting the move on Leisig. They fighting around 13. Leisig now under fire from Rujoff through 13, now into 14. Rujoff with the inside line. Leisig gonna have a lot of road to travel to fight back. They've all got DRS. No, it's not open yet. Rujoff finding some time back, and Hayden is now also punishing both of them. Hayden is through into third place. Rujoff wide around 2 as Leisig now finds his way back ahead. A lot of dancing happening. Rujoff now back into 5th after briefly being all the way back into 3rd.
Yeah.
What a turn of events lap 25 was.
A lot of
Wow.
dancing, and I'd say quite a bit of stepping on each other's toes through some of those corners as they use those rear tires just to move people out of the way. That was that is good racing.
Yeah, very good racing. All of them still on track, and it's the medium tires just into the window. A little bit better, I think. Z-Milk, Curveball, Hayden, all in very good position. And man, did Hayden get a nice bonus on that safety car, really taking advantage of that, and now in a pretty good tire position.
Yep.
Leisig and Rujoff suffering a little bit.
Yeah, and Leisig and Rujoff battling there around turn 14. Hayden said, "Thank you very much," and just slid right up the inside to capitalize.
Yeah, a nice little move because Leisig got thrown off, I think, by Curveball. The Rujoff was trying to sneak in there as well, and then they were bumping each other down to turn 1, and Hayden was like, all right. I'll take 2 places. Thank you very much. And man, Curveball again was the instigator of all that in his rivalry with Leisig. The Curveball Leisig fights have been very entertaining. I'm really enjoying it. Meanwhile, up at the front, Z-Milk is like, I'll take another race win. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's not leaving any pace on the table at this point.
No, he is not. We've got trouble. It looks like a spun Phantom, I want to say.
Barney.
I believe, yeah, Barney having a little trouble around 11, I think. The back end still spinning for Barney. Rough, and there goes Walrus.
Here we go. Hayden on Curveball. He's going to throw one around the outside into turn 1.
Can he finish it? He does keep the speed up. Well done there. Ooh, and he's going to go deep through 2, and that's going to... The Curveball not going to be able to fight back, it doesn't look like.
So it's a rainbow at the front, Drez, as we head into lap 27.
Yeah, the 4 teams represented. It's only the Phantom F1 just kind of struggling tonight. Bongit is your powerhouse representative from Phantom in 7th place. Meanwhile, Walrus, who almost had pole, and Barney, who's just having a rough night as a team captain, 12th and 13th.
Oh, I think we've lost Shiesty there out of turn 7. I'm sure his mom not going to be excited to see that.
She needs to root harder for her sweet boy. Z-Milk, Hayden, Curveball. They are looking very, very strong right now here on lap 28. Curveball, I think. Yeah, he's still within DRS range, but gonna have trouble. The Hayden seems to be consolidating a little bit. Leisig, Rujoff, they're fighting. Going action 5. Seems to be the closest fight on track right now.
Yep, we left that as Owa overtook Bongit through turn 2 to take over 6th position.
So a big man, I would say around lap 15, it was looking like, you know, Speed Demons were going to just walk away with tons of points. Rujov had been leading well, just very solid driving from him out in front. Z-Milk was catching slowly but surely. A 1-2 for the Speed Demons, but after the safety car and Rujov finding himself on cold hards with really talented competition around him, just losing a lot of points. And now battling for Leipzig, just trying to get back to the podium.
Yeah, Rujov pretty close here as they come through turn 14. Is he going to be able to make a move down into turn 1?
The RS is open, but the battery situation not looking good for Rujov at the moment. A very patient, good defensive, and excellent battery management in the car ahead of him. Leipzig will not make it easy to take 4th place back.
Got a close battle back in 8th. Pontiac Bandit right on the back of Bongit.
Read my mind, and here we go into turn 4, side by side, but no, it's Pontiac Bandit who backs out a little bit. Bongit fearlessly throwing it into turn 4 there.
Yeah, we talked about turn 4 passes before this rodeo started tonight, Drez. It's a dice roll 50-50 chance through turn 4.
Yeah, a lot of games of chicken. Four is probably the most, game of chicken place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another one because you always end up being alongside, but you don't want to be alongside anybody through 4. And man, if you're too cautious, you give up the space. But you can also just wreck your whole race right there as well. Tough one. Pontiac Bandit now a 2.5 seconds behind. He's gonna have to work to get back in touch with Bongit. Let's go action 5, I think. It's Rujov really wants his place back from Leipzig there.
Rujov just kind of patiently following Leipzig, maybe waiting for a mistake.
I mean, he doesn't need to force his way through, right? The penalties, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at, here on lap 30, we'll look at penalties real quick. It's Hayden with 3 seconds. That puts Curveball in 2nd place. Leipzig with 3 seconds. That puts Rujov in 4th. And if Leipzig and Rujov can, and you know what? In fact, now I'm sure of it. Rujov's not fighting. He wants Leipzig to get closer to Curveball because Rujov is staring at a podium right now. If him and Leipzig can get a little bit closer to Hayden.
Yeah, if they can run up and get on the gearbox of Curveball, they could be inside that window of Hayden's penalty.
But look at this here. It's Rujov now around the outside of turn 1. He's going to find that a difficult pass, but actually keeps the speed up well. And Leipzig falls back behind Rujov into 4th place on merit now. He's now, let's call it 0.6 seconds away from being on a podium. He's got to make up some time. Oh no, I'm sorry. The 3 seconds is no, I'm looking at it right.
Yeah, yep.
Rujov is on the podium right now because he's
almost.
No,
he's a half second
almost
out. Yep.
Yeah, half a second away from being on the podium.
Yeah, so he's told Leipzig, look, appreciate the draft. I got to go. I got to get inside this window. So.
That's exactly. I heard the message. He sent him a radio message. I heard it too. That's exactly what he said. And man, does he really want that podium because a great qualifying and a solid race He knows he's got pace over Hayden, and those mediums now have got to be feeling it a little bit, you would think.
Yep, we're
12
right.
lap old,
Yeah,
11 lap old.
we're right in that range where the medium and hards are going to be probably right on the same pace.
Oh, something's happened. Hey, something has happened to Hayden. Where is he?
Back in fifth.
Hayden has had, I think he's had a spin around turn 1 or turn 2, one of those two, but he's lost a number of places. Curveball, Rudolph, Leisig all through. Hayden with a spin here late, lap 32.
And Rujoff catching curveball pretty quickly. We may not. We may see a 1-2 from Phantom yet, or Speed
That
Demons.
would
I'm
be
sorry.
yeah, that would be pretty exciting, given that it was on the table, right? And then all the plates were knocked off, and Rudolph was like, "No, that's all right. I'll get a second serving. We'll get it there." He's now within DRS range. He's got a little bit of battery issue, but about even with curveball. Now coming around the final corner is gaining time. He gained about a 6/10 that lap. So curveball's tires are hurting, and I think you're right about the tire situation. Here at the end, Rudolph may find himself legitimately back in second place after all that drama.
Yeah, and this is really a race where the Yellow Jackets could capitalize and bring home a lot of points. So we'll see if Curveball can hang on for 2 more laps.
Man. So Yellow Jackets versus the Phantom situation. It's Yellow Jackets got a pretty big. So Yellow Jackets curveball, Hemphead, Pontiac, and the Phantom is Bongit, Barney, and Walrus. And right now Yellow Jackets are outscoring big time their rival. Meanwhile, Speed Demons in second place compared to the Green Goblins, and Speed Demons are 1 and 3, while the Green Goblins 4 and 6. We're gonna see some Construction Cup shakeups if the race finishes like this. Fun stuff. We are on the penultimate lap now. Rujoff is half a second behind Curveball. We are watching this battle with some intensity. Really do want to see if Rujoff can find his way back into a Speed Demon 1-2 here in Hungary.
And Curveball using up the remainder of his battery there, defending on the drive into turn 1. So Rujoff probably going to take a pretty solid stab at it, I would think, going into the last lap, turn 1.
Gotta think he's got to be thinking to himself, save my battery, don't use my battery. Because he needs to save it up. Because you're right, Curveball's harvesting ahead, so the 20% battery that Rujoff has saved up thus far is gonna give him the best chance he's gonna have. And he's inching forward right when he needs to be, 0.4 behind if you're going to set up a pass in Hungary. And there goes Curveball, a little wide, around 12. We head into 13 now.
Yep.
Just tucked underneath.
Rujoff needs to be right at 3/10 coming out of 14 to catch him, and I think he is right there.
There goes the battery. Here comes DRS taking the inside line, but I don't think it's going. No, he does matter. Curveball's got the right place, and he keep the speed up as they both head around the outside. A little wheel banging. There goes Curveball. He's going to have a nose ahead, but he's on the outside line now around turn 3. There goes Rujoff. They're still fighting side by side, but Curveball's forced to fall back. Rujoff does move into second place on the final lap.
And he used every single ounce of battery he had to get that pass done.
Yeah, used it right when he needed it. Curveball's medium tires ultimately not going to the whole 15 laps to hold on there. Rujoff able to find his way back into second place. A legitimate passes against some of the top tier drivers in ET from Rujov, and really strong pace here tonight. A good race for Rujov and for Speed Demons overall. Let's head up to Z-Milk as he's coming across the line for the victory. Well fought, and Rujov, after a really, really hard restart, able to find his way back into second place. A pretty incredible final few laps from him. And curveball from the back of the grid. Strong drive, finishes third place.
Yeah, so the Green Goblins collecting quite a few points as well, finishing fourth and fifth. Rujoff, though, very, very impressive, mixing it up there with three out of the four three of the team captains in Z-Milk, Curveball, and Leisig.
Yeah. Team captains for a reason. Man, look at them go. Z-Milk, Curveball, Leisig, Reimer. That's four of the top six. It's just Barney having a rough night tonight there. He did finish in the points in 10th place. But rough for Barney this evening. And Owa too, man. Of all the draft picks, Owa definitely coming through with the points there.
So Z-Milk takes another win.
Back to back. Back to back. It was Z-Milk with the win in Zandvoort, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I got to look.
I think this was before you got here, but I was watching a Z-Milk in Zandvoort, right? And he was just so good around that track. And I was like, I know where the milk is made, right? It's Zandvoort milk. But yeah, very strong drive, and I think Z-Milk legitimately had the fastest pace here this evening. Rujov was second in terms of pace, I think, race pace wise, but Z-Milk was definitely catching him. And you would think with the kind of setup Z-Milk runs that Hungary is a track that would just reward that style of driving.
Yeah, absolutely. Very impressed with everyone's driving tonight. We had hardly any safety cars or any incidents.
Yeah.
The racecraft was exceptional tonight.
Yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of good racing up at the front. And man, Hayden, that late spin would cost him a lot of points for Team Journey. So it looks like for sure the Speed Demons at 108 in second place. I think they're going to be moving into first place after tonight. Though the Green Goblins, Leisig and Owa bringing home points, they're not going to fall too far behind. And in the battle between the Yellow Jackets and Phantom, Curveball bringing home a lot of points. Himphead also quietly and effectively bringing home points for Yellow Jackets as well. Meanwhile, it's only Bonget and Barney managing 7th and 10th for Phantom. And Journey not doing too bad at all. 6th and 9th. They've got two racers in the points, so they'll close the gap to the battle for third place.
Yep, it's shaping up. We've got a few more rounds left here in the Constructors Cup. So I'm excited to see where this takes us and what team's going to come out on top. It's definitely looking like it's going to be a battle to the finish between the Goblins and the Demons.
Yeah, I mean, and I wouldn't count out Phantom and Yellow because they're only 20 points behind. I mean, they're battling over third right now, but only 20 points back. But man, it is a thrilling race by race at the moment between the first place. So fun to watch, and 6 more of these events. So
yeah, and when you're talking about getting 4 cars into the points, we can take huge swings one way or another, Drez. So this thing's far from over.
Yeah, one really strong night from Journey, and we'll be talking about them in the mix as well.
Absolutely,
so, a lot of fun. Yeah. Yep, a lot of fun. And man, did I needed some good solid racing. That was a lot of fun to
I
watch.
did too. Yeah, we've had a little bit of a break, but I've been craving it, and this soothed my craving. So
Yeah. Yeah, I got my fix for this week.
yeah,
So we'll be back when next Monday for Pro Tier, and then I think we're on a bit of a break for Elite Tier until July, to the start of for the start of season 3. Is that right?
yeah, I believe so. Next week, Pro Tier Monday night will be in Belgium, so that's always a classic to tune into. 9 o'clock here on Twitch or YouTube. So please come watch us, and if you're watching tonight, subscribe. There's alerts that come up, and we'll alert you when we go live. And it does us a solid. So like, subscribe, and look for more content from us.
All right.
Well, hey,
Well, I think
go ahead, Drez.
yeah, I was gonna say I appreciate the racing. I'll look forward to next Monday.
Yeah, on behalf of Dresden, I've been trackside tonight. Keep living life to the checkered flag, and catch us on Monday night at 9 for Pro Tier. We'll see you, folks.
Night, night, everybody.
Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel. On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. Milliseconds between first and forgotten. Take your seat.